just real quick, I want to back up to when he talks about
Yep.
the spiritual world.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I told a story today in the Arthur chat, right? So I'm gonna tell it
Mhm.
here on the show, right? So Mubarik Gillani, once upon a time, right? He's sitting there. So Mubarak Gillani is the author of this book, in case anyone is unaware, right? So he's sitting there, right? He's talking to my mother and a few other sisters, and he starts to doze off, right? Okay, but he says, "I'm going to the spiritual world," right? So he's nodding back and forth, right? And dozing off, going to the spiritual world, right? As he claims, right?
Mhm.
So he dozes off for about 15, 30 minutes, comes back and says to someone, "So you, Sister Fulana, right?" And she's like, "That's not my name, Sheikh." And he's like, "That is your name in the spiritual world." Right? And she's looking confused, like, that I have a name in the spiritual world, and he's like, yes, everybody has a name in the spiritual world. You have three names. You have the name you have on earth, the name in the spiritual world, and the name you have in heaven, right? So when I was in the spiritual world, I saw you there, and that was your name, right? And she said, how did I get to the spiritual world? And he says to her, your soul is always in the spiritual world, right? And everyone was just so amazed. Now, that story sounds make believe because, like, who would believe that story to be true? But then,
Right.
like it sounds outlandish, but this is the things that you guys have believed for so many years. So when you actually hear it out loud, like, he saw her soul in the spiritual world. So why did he have to physically go? Like, there's just so many like just wrong
Yeah.
things about it, where it doesn't.
What's the it's either a philosophy thing or what, like, it's like basically the simplest thing is the correct answer. Like the
Yeah,
simplest answer is the correct answer, right? Instead of just saying he for he forgot her, he didn't know her name and said
and
the
fell
wrong
asleep.
name,
Yeah,
right?
And he fell
What
asleep. And
yeah,
he
and
fell
he
asleep.
fell asleep. He fell asleep, woke up, didn't know the person sitting in front of him, made a
Fulana.
mistake, and
Yep.
just instead of just like, okay, that, and then made up a bullcrap story to cover for himself. Some of you guys are gonna believe this crap, but let's look at all the contradictions in this just story, right? So her soul, while she was awake, was supposedly separated from her body, hanging out with Mubarak Jelani in the spiritual world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what happens? You know the times our soul leaves our body? When we're
We
asleep, when
sleep.
Allah
Yep.
specifically takes it up, and when we die.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mhm.
it.